Clara, a 40-year-old woman, carries the weight of the past years in her gaze. After going through a divorce that shook all her certainties and then losing her job at a company where she had dedicated much of her youth, she finds herself emotionally exhausted. Life in the big city, which once symbolized dreams and achievements, now seems to suffocate her, with its crowded streets, frantic pace, and the constant honking of horns that she can no longer tolerate. As she packs the last of the boxes, Clara reflects on what had kept her in the city for so long. It was there that she built her career and thought she had found love. But now she feels empty, as if all of that were just a distant echo. Looking at an old photo album, she sees herself as a child, smiling at her grandparents' house in the village where she used to spend her holidays. There, life seemed simpler, with quiet afternoons under the shade of a mango tree and the scent of cake baking in the oven, always accompanied by her grandmother's warm laughter. Filled with this feeling of nostalgia, Clara makes a decision to move into that old house inherited from her grandparents, forgotten over the years. She knows that the change won't be easy, but she imagines that perhaps this new start, in a place where time seems to move more slowly, could help her rediscover what truly matters. After all, she is now seeking a home that brings peace, a refuge where she can reconnect with herself and with the small joys she once lost. And so, leaving behind the rush and noise of the city, Clara heads to the village, with a mix of fear and hope in her heart, wishing that this journey will bring the lightness and meaning she has been searching for. As Clara drives down the dirt road leading to the village, she feels her heart slow down along with the landscape passing by the car window. It's a world completely different from what she left behind. Vast fields, rolling green hills, and a sky in no hurry to darken stretch out before her. Upon arriving at the old house that once belonged to her grandparents, now hers, Clara steps out of the car and takes a deep breath, absorbing the fresh air and the scent of grass and wildflowers. Everything around her seems to carry a tranquility that's almost palpable. In the first few days between cleaning and organizing the boxes, Clara finds herself wandering through the garden, reminiscing about childhood summers when she ran barefoot, picked fruit, and listened to her grandfather's stories. Over time, she realizes how much she had lost by distancing herself from this part of herself, the part that knew how to appreciate the stillness, the bird songs, and the sound of the wind in the trees. One afternoon, while trying to fix a jammed window, Clara meets Miguel, a neighbor who lives on the nearby farm. Tall, with a sun-weathered face and few words, he offers to help her with the repairs. Miguel is a reserved man, somewhat mysterious, but with a gentleness in every action. Clara notices the careful way he observes the trees, the sky, and the signs of the land. Miguel lost his wife many years ago, and since then he's lived a simple life in tune with nature, tending to the farm with quiet dedication. Miguel's presence sparks in Clara a curiosity and respect for this way of life. Little by little, through occasional conversations and shared work fixing the house, Clara feels a new connection beginning to form between them, based on mutual understanding of loss and a shared desire for a fresh start. Settled in the small village, Clara begins to transform the house that once belonged to her grandparents into something truly hers. Every day she dedicates some time to small improvements, removing weeds from the yard, restoring old furniture full of memories, and planting a colorful and delicate garden. In these tasks, Clara feels a satisfaction she hasn't experienced in a long time, as if, with each change, she were rediscovering parts of herself. Miguel, with his rural life experience, becomes a constant and indispensable presence, helping her understand the plants, the cycles of the seasons, and the secrets of gardening. With him, Clara learns to respect the rhythm of nature and trust that life also has its own cycles of renewal. In each lesson she perceives a wisdom that Miguel doesn't need to say in words. He teaches her by example with patience and care. As time passes, Clara and Miguel share more than just tasks. By the fireplace, during evening talks and walks through the village on sunny days, they begin to open up about their pain. Miguel speaks simply about the loss of his wife and the years of solitude that followed, while Clara reveals the echoes of her recent divorce and the longing for a career she had dedicated herself to so intensely. These moments, simple yet full of meaning, help Clara reflect on everything she left behind and find a new peace. With each conversation, each shared laugh, and each comfortable silence between them, she feels that, little by little, a new home is being built, not just around her but also within her. Clara is finally at peace, putting down roots in her new home and building a special bond with Miguel. However, this tranquility is shaken when she receives an unexpected proposal. An old co-worker offers her an opportunity to resume her career with a new project in the city. The offer is tempting, with an attractive salary and the promise of recognition, stirring within her a mix of doubt and nostalgia. At the same time, Miguel, with whom Clara has shared so much of her new life, reveals his own challenges. He tells her that the farm, which has belonged to his family for generations, is facing financial difficulties, and he is considering selling it to help his relatives stabilize. Although this plan to sell is necessary, it causes an emotional rupture in Clara. She feels that if Miguel truly leaves, part of the home they have been building together will fade away. Now Clara finds herself at a crossroads. Returning to the city represents a return to her old life and the stability she once valued, but also to a pace that could erase everything she has built in this village. At the same time, she sees Miguel as someone who has become her foundation, and the thought of losing his presence feels unbearable. This dilemma forces her to confront the true meaning of her new beginning. She must choose between the security of a familiar career and the peace and simplicity she has rediscovered in the countryside. Determined not to lose what she has built internally, Clara decides to open up to Miguel about her feelings and the plans they both have for the future. This conversation becomes a decisive moment, a chance for them to reaffirm not only the desire for a fresh start but also their commitment to face together the challenges that this new beginning brings. After days of reflection, Clara comes to a conclusion that has long been forming in her heart. Her happiness no longer depends on the conventions of the city or the career that once defined her life. True peace, she realizes, lies in the simplicity of what she found in the village, in the tranquility of rural life, in the authenticity of the relationships she has cultivated, and in the renewed sense of belonging. Clara understands that, by rediscovering herself among the fields, she cannot let the weight of the past and the promises of a conventional future pull her away from this new truth. She decides then to open her heart to Miguel. A quiet afternoon, with the soft sound of wind in the trees and the golden light of the evening sun bathing the fields, becomes the setting for a deep and honest conversation between them. Clara reveals her decision not to return to the city, to embrace her new life and the bond they share. She expresses the insecurities that still plague her, her fear of making mistakes, of losing connection with the outside world, and the worry that the simple life she has built in the countryside might be too fleeting. Miguel, with the same honesty, speaks about his own struggles and fears. He confesses the weight of responsibility over the farm and the pressure he feels to uphold the family traditions. But after hearing Clara, he also realizes that there is more at stake than just financial survival. There is a future they can build together, a future where hard work and love for the land merge with mutual care and unconditional support. Together they find a solution. Miguel decides to explore alternative ways to sustain the farm, such as partnering with other local farmers or seeking grants to preserve the heritage. They decide to combine their strengths so neither of them has to surrender to their fears or solitary dreams. Clara, with the renewed strength she found in the simplicity of the countryside, commits to helping, whether by taking care of the house or seeking solutions that can contribute to the farm's financial stability. Clara and Miguel's story culminates in a rebirth for both. She finds her place in the world, embracing her roots and the connection with nature, while Miguel rediscovers the value of fighting for what he loves, with someone by his side. Together they begin to see not only the difficulties of the present but also the promise of a richer future, built on mutual support, small daily gestures of care, and the appreciation of the little joys that, now, they both know are the true treasure of life. Amid this new reality, Clara and Miguel discover that true redemption is not in escaping mistakes and losses, but in learning to transform them into strengths that make them stronger and more united. And so, in the warmth of the fireplace beneath the starry sky of the village, they understand that together, they can create a fulfilling life, simple yet deeply meaningful. Time passed slowly in Clara's new life in the village. She and Miguel, now united not only by love but by the complicity of a journey of rebuilding, found their peace in simplicity. They became part of the natural rhythm of the land, the passing seasons, the days that stretched and shortened, the planting and harvesting cycles. Everything that once seemed distant was now deeply intertwined in their daily routines. The house Clara restored, with the garden she and Miguel cultivated together, reflected the internal transformation they had both gone through. The walls of the house, filled with the scent of aged wood and fresh flowers, held the memories of their conversations, shared laughter, and quiet moments of reflection. The backyard, once cold and lifeless, was now a space of growth and renewal, just like the hearts of Clara and Miguel. On a golden late afternoon, the couple sits in the field, beneath the shade of an old tree, their gaze fixed on the horizon. The sun, now low, tints the sky in warm golden and pink hues, reflecting on the vast fields around them. They need not say a word. The silence is comfortable, filled with meaning. Nature, with its simple and eternal beauty, seems to be the only witness to their journey, a journey that brought them back to a place where time is measured in everyday gestures, not in haste or accomplishments. Clara and Miguel, there together, know they have found something that many seek their entire lives: true happiness. Not the kind found in great feats or grand promises, but in the peace of being who they are, in quiet love, and in the trust that now they can build something lasting, grounded in the present. The sun sets slowly, as if the whole world pauses to celebrate with them. And as the sky darkens, Clara holds Miguel's hand, feeling the softness of his touch and the certainty that, by his side, she has found the peace she had long been searching for. The last rays of sunlight fade, but the silence of the field, now filled with the gentle breeze and nocturnal sounds, remains. Clara and Miguel, together, in full harmony with nature and the love they have grown intertwined, know that, in this moment, everything they have ever needed is right there, within reach, the simple, tranquil life they always sought and have finally found.